what are the behaviors that an entrepreneur should demonstrate, or which are the behaviors that promote entrepreneurship? Let's look at that. So very, very fundamental is comfort with risk. When we started the session, I was talking to Sanyukta. Yeah, I was talking to her, and she said, I'm working with PepsiCo right now, but I am thinking that I want to do something later on, have a cafe, right? Now, somewhere, at least when I was listening to her, she was okay to try it out. Yeah. And that's what we mean by comfort with risk. If I take my own example, I decided to leave my job. Not that I had a problem of getting job. I decided to leave my job, and I told myself that it's gonna be a journey. It will take 2 years, 3 years to create your enterprise. Are you okay with that? And I told myself I'm okay, right? So I am taking the risk, giving up a well-paying job and then doing something of my own. So I'm comfortable, right? It may take 1 year, it may take 2 years. I'm actually at peace because I'm okay to take that risk. So far, so good, everyone. Is this point clear? Type it in the chat window. Yes. Yeah. Okay. The second one is communication and collaboration. So Kalpana was asking networking, right? Now, networking, sales, marketing, branding, these are different names. But if you see the fundamental of this, it is communication and collaboration. If we can communicate with most people, known people as well as unknown people, and we can start building a relationship with them professionally, that's what we mean by communication and collaboration. For example, let's say we have, I forget his name, Nikhil, right? Now, Nikhil is operating his web design company for 10 years. And in this process, he has built a network of customers, network of suppliers, probably some collaborations that he has created so that he constantly gets leads and business from various channels. What is it? That's an example of communication and collaboration, right? This is fundamental. Like you have to be comfortable with risk, communication and collaboration is absolutely necessary for a good entrepreneur. The third one, critical thinking and problem solving, right? Now, when we say critical thinking and problem solving, don't go too much into the definitions and all that. Simple terms, you will come across problems, and instead of looking at looking at it as a roadblock, right? You look at the problem and try to see how can I solve this, and that's what we mean. We say critical thinking and problem solving, they are together, right? So, for example, again, if I take let's say Kalpana's example, right? She is a lawyer, and she might be having variety of legal cases that come to her. Now, her treatment to each case is going to be different. Yeah, she knows exactly that if this kind of case comes, these are some parameters that I will apply to solve that problem or to address that issue. That's an example of critical thinking and problem solving. So far, so good, guys. Anyone has any problem, queries, doubt? Yeah. Okay, I'll just move a little fast because this is too many things. I'll just cover it quickly. Yeah. Creativity and innovation. Because we are entrepreneurs, you will start with an original idea, right? However, once you are into the process of creating your business, eventually you will have to keep your products and services fresh. That means either you create new products or services, or you change your service mix so that your customer looks at it as a fresh product or service. So constant innovation, constant creativity is the name of the game, and you should consciously develop this. Please remember, these are not DNA things, right? These are skills that you can acquire by learning or taking up some kind of coaching, right? The next one is your attitude, which is flexibility and adaptability. You will have a plan that in this year I want to do 1 crore or 10 crores of in business, but because of COVID, for example, suddenly the plan is not going to be accomplished. What can I do? You might have to immediately switch over to an alternate plan, which you might not have thought earlier. and ensure that you still keep your targets intact, but you change the channel through which you generate the revenue. So that is flexibility and adaptability. Future orientation is constantly talking to your customers, talking to other people in the industry, and understand what is going to be the need of the future, and developing your product and service in a manner so that it can serve your customers even in the future, right? The best example we all know is the MTNL or BSNL telephones are almost redundant, and they are still, BSNL particularly is still getting 4G hardware, whereas the rest of the industry is talking 5G handsets and even 5G networks. So that's a stark example how organizations are not prepared for future. Then they keep investing money, resources, energy, everything into something which is almost going to be obsolete in probably a year or two, right? Opportunity recognition is very, as the word suggests, when you look around, you have two things you can see. One is you can see problems, or you see problems as opportunity. Like the most recent example, which all of us have seen, is the COVID pandemic that India went through last year. And now many people have changed their business model to create products or services to support the COVID pandemic. I have someone in our family who was manufacturing garments for international brands, and this COVID hit. They had to switch over and kind of repurpose their manufacturing facility to produce masks and other commodities that are required to support the pandemic. So opportunity, so same setup, same people, but over probably a month or two, by retraining them, they have been able to cope up to the new products and services that are required. And let me tell you this, they ended up getting a government contract to manufacture and supply COVID masks and other items. So that's what we mean by uh, opportunity recognition. Okay, Kalpana, that's great to know. We'll learn something more as we move ahead. And last and not the least is initiative and future reliance. If we think that there is an opportunity, don't wait for someone to come and do it. You should do it by taking initiative and have some faith that this will culminate into something, right? Have that trust in yourself, have that belief in yourself, and take the initiative and move forward. The last point, which is at the bottom, is in order to do all these things, it is very important that we also demonstrate high amount of ownership and accountability. Finally, it is you who is facing the world. Finally, it is you who is going to be known for what you are doing. If you shy away from doing certain things, uh, it's not going to work. And that will show up in your business. It will show up in your revenue. It will show up in your sales. So you will have to show accountability. You will have to take ownership. And let me tell you, success is shabby. There is no perfect way of doing business. Everyone, like whether it is Ambani or Steve Jobs or anyone, they have started somewhere, they have learned on the way, and they have moved forward. There were setbacks in their life as well, but they have not stopped. They have moved ahead with faith and confidence in self. But above all, they have constantly demonstrated accountability and responsibility for what they are doing.